So there's a note here, and that is, sometimes we may think that it is already sunset, or that we're still at night. So we continue to drink and eat. And after a while, we discover that, whoops, we were wrong. What to do? Alhamdulillah. At the time of the Prophet ﷺ, as narrated by Asma bint Abi Bakr, she said, we were fasting, and it was a cloudy day. And it was so dark, we thought that it must have already set. And so we broke our fast, and few moments later, the clouds were gone and the sun was still in the sky. So we continued our fasting, and that day we did not make it up. Why? Because you acted upon what was most likely in your estimation. Likewise, if someone was at night eating and drinking, and he did not hear the adhan, nor recognize that it was already the break of dawn time, and he kept on eating and drinking, and after some time, he discovered that, whoops, I've already passed the time of fasting and refraining from eating and drinking by 10-15 minutes. And I ate when it was already daytime. Alhamdulillah, he has to continue fasting, and his fasting is valid without any problem. Now, if you look at some of the calendars they give away in masjids, you'd find the times of prayer. So you will find Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, which is when you break your fast, Isha, and then before Fajr you have Imsak. And this is an innovation. We do not have a buffer zone before the break of dawn by 15 minutes or half an hour, where you are supposed to refrain from eating and drinking, because this is still night. We stop from eating and drinking and the rest of the things that break our fast only when the Fajr breaks, when the adhan of Fajr is given, and to refrain from that would not be part of the Sunnah. Finally, let us assume, and this happens, if a person is on the ground and he sees the sun setting, the Maghrib has been called, and he breaks his fast. Seconds later, the airplane takes off eastbound. Or westbound, that is. I think it's westbound. And the moment he takes off and it goes to high altitude, he sees the sun. Now, what should we do? Well, the scholars say your fasting is valid, and when you broke your fast, you broke it because the sun set. Being elevated due to the airplane and seeing the sun again doesn't mean it's a new day because you saw the sun, so you pray Fajr again. No, nobody says this. So it's the same day, but already you have finished and concluded your day when you saw the sun set. And likewise, if a person is fasting and just before sunset, he takes off. And once the airplane is elevated and he's headed westbound, this means that the sunset is going to be delayed for maybe 3 or 4 hours, while the people in his hometown had already broken their fast because the sun had set. But because he's over the altitude of 30 or 40,000 feet, going westbound, he's chasing the sun. And he must not break his fast until he visibly see the sun had set, because Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Quran, then complete the fast until the sunset. هذا والله أعلم ونسبة العلم إليه أسلم وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد.